everyone, and good afternoon. On behalf of our Board of Trustees, faculty, staff, and students, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the campus of East Tennessee State University. Today we welcome our students back from spring break, and at the risk of jumping the gun on this announcement, I'd say we're also excited to welcome back a former member of staff to our campus. March is a unique month on a college campus, for it heralds the arrival of spring and the hope contained therein. And all across the institution, you can see things coming to life, taking root from seeds that were planted decades ago. And those seeds were planted purposefully with care, with the knowledge that if properly nurtured, they would take root and bring happiness and joy to future generations. In the athletic world, March is also a time when seeds planted come to bloom. It's a time when dreams come true, and as you look across the portfolio of NCAA as well as high school athletics, young men and women are playing and competing, realizing dreams that were planted in them as seeds, as youngsters early in their life. As we've seen this past weekend from the win by Furman and Princeton and others, Cinderella stories are being told across the nation. This is a region that loves basketball and is rich with basketball talent. And that was evident this past weekend where in Murfreesboro, 3 of the 4 state champion teams were from East Tennessee. And those teams, especially the teams from Northeast Tennessee, epitomized hard work, dedication, sacrifice, and the commitment required to win championships. As a former colleague of mine at ETSU used to say, we're a blue-collar institution with gold standards. Our campus believes in hard work, diligence, perseverance, and our labors in the summer and in the fall are what yield the promise of spring. Just a few months ago, Dr. Sander recommended that we take a hard look at our men's basketball program. He expressed concern about the lack of a coordinated focus and the intensity of effort required to compete and win championships in the Southern Conference. And after careful consideration, he determined that we needed to move forward in a new direction to meet our expectations for the program. I accepted his recommendation and charged him to embark upon a search for our next head men's basketball coach. I know of no one in the country who has a better sense of what it takes to build a foundation that will support success on and off the basketball court than Dr. Sander. If you watched the games this past weekend, the seeds that he planted in coaches came to life as team after team after team were led by head coaches or staff that trained underneath Dr. Sander's leadership. And as he demonstrated during his prior tenure at the university, he knows how to develop winners, because many of these banners and those banners came because of his leadership in the seeds that he planted. As he moved through the search process for our new men's basketball coach, he identified countless candidates, from sitting head coaches to assistant head coaches all across the country. There was a lot of interest in this position. Dr. Sander, however, focused on finding an individual with grit, determination, toughness, and a commitment to hard work, the values that this region holds, as well as someone who understood the history of excellence that defines our men's basketball program. I have confidence in his judgment, and I have great confidence in his choice. Please join me in welcoming to the podium our athletic director, Dr. Richard Sander.
Thanks, Dr. Nolan. First of all, I'd like to thank, we put together a little search committee to kind of help vet a lot of the candidates, interview the candidates, and I'd just like to recognize them. Kay Lennon was the chairman of our search committee, and Eric Baumgartner, Dr. Brian Johnston, Dr. Susan Epps, and Dr. Jess Thomas. They did yeoman's work on this. And as we started this process, I heard from, some people that there were some concerns that, the quality of candidates for this job would be limited. And that turned out to be absolutely not true. It was amazing the number of people that really aggressively pursued this job. They had as many people as they could call to try to influence this decision. And in one way, that was really rewarding to see how this position and how this university is viewed on a national level. So that was pretty exciting. And then as you go through the process, it's a pretty simple thing for me. I'm like a lot of you. I just, kind of write down pros and cons. What are the pros of each candidate? What are the cons? And when I got to, Coach Savage, the only con that I could write down on the left side of the paper was he's never been a head coach. So when I thought about that, I thought he hasn't been a head coach, but he's got the blueprint that has built this program to the amazing success that we had from 2015 to 2020. And what, my major goal was to get back to those kind of days where it's fun to go to the games, that this great fan base that we have can really enjoy every game. And I think in Coach Savage's term here, the one thing that we identified was our mantra was ETSU tough. And our players played with great passion. They played with great energy. They played with a toughness that was both physical tough and mentally tough. They played with purpose. And, the one thing that really, and I'm a former basketball coach, so one thing, loose balls are important to me. You get every loose ball, and that was our mentality. And so, these guys, they came in and they were a big part of it, from G-Line Wynn, T.J. Cromer, Isaiah Tisdale, Patrick Good, Hunter Mascara-Perea, Tevin Glass, all those guys, they adopted this. That became kind of our mantra and who we are. When other teams played us, they knew at the end of the game that they had a real fight on their hands. And that's what we got to get back to. We're going to get back to that toughness. We're going to get back to that passion. We have a lot of a good foundation here. Some of these guys back here, these guys are talented guys. We just need to add a few more. We need to build a culture of that ETSU tough. And, as I thought about this, the best person out there to do that is Brooke Savage. So, you don't want to hear me. I'm going to introduce our next head men's basketball coach at ETSU, Brooke Savage, his lovely wife, Lauren, and Wayne.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. It's thrilled to be back in God's country, East Tennessee, and just look around the room, see so many familiar faces. Really means a lot to me, so thank you for being here. Before I get started, happy to see Coach Mock Brown is here today, and I wanted to give the women's team and Coach a round of applause if we could for just an outstanding. Being at Wake Forest for the past 3 years, everywhere I went in the community or on campus, even out recruiting with the logo, people would ask me if I went to Wake Forest, and I was always like, shoot, no, there's no way in hell they'd ever let me in there. But Coach Mock graduated from Wake Forest, so she's obviously a heck of a lot smarter than I am, and I can't wait to work together and learn from you and cheer on your team. But I want to start by thanking our president, Dr. Brian Nolan, our athletic director, Dr. Richard Sander, for this incredible opportunity to lead such a storied and proud program. The thing that excites me the most about this opportunity is the partnership of alignment with Dr. Nolan and Dr. Sander. We share the same pride, passion, and vision for ETSU and ETSU men's basketball program, and I think that's critical to our success. The chance to lock arms and work with two extraordinary leaders and people who have great respect for and confidence in is what makes this place so special and this opportunity so special. So thank you for believing in me and entrusting me with the future of this program and affording me the opportunity of a lifetime at a place that's always been a dream job destination for me. So thank you. I also want to thank the committee members who I look forward to working with very closely. All their hard work, during the last couple of weeks, and Dr. Kay Lennon McGrew, Dr. Brian Johnston, Dr. Jessica Thomas, Dr. Susan Epps, and Eric Baumgartner. I don't know about you, Eric, but it sounds like we need to get one of them doctors that everybody's got going on around here. Thank you guys. I want to give a special thank you to Kay Lennon McGrew. Someone who I have the utmost respect for and admiration for. Thank you for all your hard work throughout the process, especially over these last few days, getting all the details and everything in order, making this such a smooth transition for me and my family. So thank you. To the ETSU family, all the faculty and staff, program supporters, community members, everyone here. It really makes me feel at home to see all of you, and I can't wait to be in the community and be out on campus and spend time with all of you, and I'm excited to work together. So, speaking of family, our program will be relationship-based. The relationships in my life mean more to me than anything in the world, and I have a lot of people to thank today that helped make this possible. So, bear with me here. This couple of them will be tough. But I want to make a big thank you first to the MVP of our family, my wife Lauren, or should I say my very pregnant wife, Lauren. We got another little girl coming in about 5 weeks, so just an awesome time in our life, and we're really excited about that. But thank you for being all in all the time. And our daughter Waverly is here. Waverly, you wave? You wave to him? Wavy was born 3 years ago here in Johnson City on a Saturday in January in front of a sold-out Freedom Hall when we beat Chattanooga, and that's something that we're going to get back to doing on a regular basis. I can promise you that. All right, I want to thank my family, my sisters back home, doing a little Ferris Bueller action, skipping class. She's a teacher, but she's watching back home in South Carolina, and Lauren's parents are in Georgia. I want to thank them, and my mom and dad are here. My mom and dad, they gave me the greatest gift that you could ever give someone. They believed in me and encouraged me to chase my dream and dream big. And from there, they instilled a work ethic in me to turn that dream into reality. So they've been there every step of the way, and just thank you. My dad, he said yesterday that he's going to be the Freedom Hall supervisor of officials. So you guys will get to know him really well. He'll be at all the games. Billy Donovan, when he was at Florida, his dad sat on the bench, but don't get any bright ideas. That ain't happening. But thank you for everything, and thank you. What started as a love for the game for me turned into a passion for teaching, for leading, and for making a positive impact in the lives of other people. I've been blessed beyond measure in my life to have some incredible coaches who believed in me and gave me an opportunity to live my dream. To my high school coach, Tim Whipple, at Irmo High School in South Carolina, just won a 6th state championship at Irmo. He built my basketball foundation and taught me how to win with integrity. Pat Marshall, for all your guidance and mentorship. All of the assistant coaches and support staff that I've gotten a chance to work with over the years, especially the guys at Wake Forest that I know are watching in the office. I'm grateful for your friendship. You guys made me a better coach and a better person, and so just really lucky to work with all of you. To the 6 head coaches that I've had the privilege to work with and learn from, and they gave me an opportunity and believed in me along the way. Coach Buzz Peterson, who spent some time here at ETSU, gave me my start as a freshman manager back in 2004. Coach Bruce Pearl, Ed Conroy, Greg Nybert, and Will Wade, and of course the great Steve Forbes. I would not be standing here today without Coach. Many of you know him, and you know he's a pack rat. I remember very vividly the day he pulled up. I can't look at Liz right now. But the day he pulled up outside the arena in 2006, I was going into my junior year of college. And I met him on the curb and helped him unload a giant truck full of these enormous Tupperware containers with every scouting report, preseason magazine, and stat sheet that he'd ever come across. And he's been my family ever since. He raised me in this profession. He taught me the art of coaching, how to recruit, and how to love the players. Most of all, he allowed me to fail and make mistakes without ever losing confidence in me. He entrusted me with responsibility in every aspect of the program, and we won a lot of games together. And while I haven't yet sat in that seat, I couldn't have sat any closer. For 13 years, he prepared me for this opportunity, and for that, I'm forever grateful. And so I'd like to give Coach Forbes a round of applause for all that he's done for this program. course, especially John Curry and Mitch Shaw. Thank you for your leadership, your mentorship, and belief in our vision. It was a life-changing experience of those last 3 years, and the great things are ahead for the Demon Deacons. Lastly, I want to thank the players. This has always been and forever will be about the players. I had a chance to meet with the guys this morning. Really looking forward to working with them. But this is about you guys, okay? This always will be about, this will always be your home. And I've talked to over 20, texted or talked to over 20 former players of ETSU guys across all the eras. They're fired up. But I wouldn't be here without the players. And thank you for all your hard work and trusting in me and allowing me to coach you guys and for making me a better coach. All the ETSU guys in past eras, our doors are open. We want you guys here, and we can't wait to see you back real soon. All right. Now on to the fun stuff. I did a lot better with that than I anticipated. All right, fun stuff. To Bug Nation, it's time. It's time to get this program back to where we belong and competing for championships and being at the top of the SoCon. All right, but to do that, it starts with championship culture and identity. All right, we're going to invest in our student athletes. We're going to build healthy relationships with them, have a commitment to high standards, and a collective character that will facilitate a transformational college experience at ETSU. Our program will center around 4 core values: toughness, passion, attitude, and effort. Toughness is just doing what it takes to make a difference, and the daily consistency on or off the court. Passion is the fuel that drives hard work and competitiveness. Attitude and effort really is the only 2 things that we ever really control. But having an attitude of gratitude, living and playing with joy, and having a team-first mindset. And then effort, just the relentless pursuit of excellence. Excellence every day, like we say here at ETSU. All right, we're going to recruit high-character student athletes and demonstrate the desire to excel on the court, in this great community, and in the classroom. We'll seek to engage and appreciate our fan base and alumni on the court through our play and in the community through our service. We are your team. This community, I know firsthand how much this community loves the Bucks in all sports, and we're going to give back to the community in a major way. This is about people. And our program will be relationship-driven. We will build genuine, lasting relationships with everyone in the program and create a fun, family-like atmosphere. These relationships will aim to help our players leave ETSU with rings on fingers, diploma in hand, and tools for life. Our interactions will be founded upon a shared respect, trust, honest communication, and a commitment to excellence in everything that we do. Together, we will once again make ETSU one of the premier mid-major basketball programs in the country. On the court, Coach Forbes laid out the blueprint for success. The product will look very similar to the last time that I was here, and very similar to what we're building at Wake Forest. The packaging will be a little bit different. I've been part of a year 1 staff 6 different times, so I'll draw on those experiences to help me hit the ground running. But I believe this, and I told the players this morning at 10:30 when we got a chance to visit. Like, you are our guys, right? You are our players. We want you here. We want to help change your life. We believe in you. You guys are plenty good enough, and we're not that far off. So I'm not standing up here talking about, well, we'll wait till a year or 2 when I get my own guys. None of that. You are our guys, okay? And we're going to have a chance to compete for a championship right away. We'll begin establishing our standards and expectations and our identity from day 1, and we're going to emphasize those on a daily basis to become the fabric of who we are. We'll be the hardest playing, best conditioned, most connected, and toughest team. We'll practice and play with a joyous intensity. We'll be hard-nosed on the defensive end of the floor. We'll be tough, athletic, and physical on defense. We'll be relentless on the glass. And like Doc said, I'm on 50-50 balls. We'll be unselfish. We're going to share it on offense. We're going to get up and down and play an exciting brand of basketball. We averaged almost 80 points a game the last 2 years at Wake Forest. And you guys know how good we were offensively not that long ago. We're going to make a daily commitment to executing the fundamentals of how we're going to play. Our bench and our huddles will be tight. we're going to be connected because we're going to care about one another. And we're going to play for the guy next to us. When a teammate makes a good pass, we're going to point at him. And when somebody goes to the ground, we're going to sprint over there and help them up. Because this is about being a team. In closing, you can probably tell, but I'm fired up to be here. We're going to have an outstanding staff. Coach Hughley is going to continue to be with us. Somebody that has great pride in this program. So let's give Joe. He helped build this. He's an incredibly talented young coach. Loves this place with all his heart and is just a relationship builder, student athlete centric, and that's the type of people that we're going to have on our staff. So really excited to have Joe. A couple other guys on staff you guys will be familiar with. We're gonna recruit the best players that we can get here at ETSU, and we're going to make Freedom Hall once again the toughest place to play in the Southern Conference. Kay told me if I went too long, she'd start playing the music at the. Am I doing all right? All right. I'm beyond grateful for everyone that helped me get here and make this day possible for me and my family. But we're ready to get to work. Thank you all for being here. In the words of Dr. Nolan, Godspeed and go Bucks.